Hello and welcome to Twerk, a space where you can hear and read about some amazing people, the fantastic jobs they do, and the paths that led them to where they are today. With the amazing soundtrack behind us now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say...
I apologise for the music in this place. It's not my choice.
It's brilliant. We've just got a soundtrack behind us. I'll probably get a copyright infringement for this on YouTube.
Probably, yeah.
You can't hear it, folks. Anyway, hi, Jonny.
Hello.
Could you tell the lovely listener what it is you do for a living?
So I am a sports therapist.
Brilliant. Okay. And a very holistic one. But before we go too far into that, let's track all the way back and talk about little Jonny. What was little Jonny like when you were younger?
Very sporty.
Yeah. I was going to say, you said like you were.
Yeah.
Well,
I hated sport, yeah.
But that could have been...
Yeah. No, I was very sporty. Everywhere I went, I was in a tracksuit.
Yeah.
I don't think I wore jeans till I was probably about 18 years old, I don't think.
Wow, okay.
So it was always tracksuits.
Yeah.
My auntie and uncle were PE teachers.
Okay.
So during summer holidays, we could still go to like the schools and play like basketball.
Well, you lucky bugger, so you had the keys.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Played football from the age of 9.
Yeah.
All the way up till I was 30 when I stopped.
Okay.
So quite a long time to be playing football. And then at secondary school, rugby, football, just everything. I was sports captain.
Yeah.
Senior prefect, stuff like that.
So it was
all around sport.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about academia and stuff? Did you like school? Did you like the academic subjects?
I did like school. I went to quite a good school in Peterborough at the time. Apparently it's not that great now.
Well, swings and roundabouts.
So I did like school, but I wasn't very like English. I didn't like reading too much. I still don't, to be honest. I still have to kind of force myself to read books now, unless it's on a topic that I absolutely love. Which tends to be around the sports and recovery side of things. But yes, school was okay. I didn't hate it.
And I guess if you've got your sport, you were fine anyway, weren't you?
And again, like you had PE, but then in between like breaks, lunchtime, you were always playing football on the tennis courts, that sort of thing. Yeah. And so like I say, I didn't hate it. Met some really nice people from it. Yeah. And it's part of where I am today, so I have no qualms about it. But
brilliant.
Didn't realistically have any kind of goals after school.
Okay.
I never wanted to go to university.
So you weren't... but if we track that back, to finish your GCSEs though, did you go on to college?
Sixth form.
Yeah,
at the same school. Because it was the easiest thing to do. Yeah. And to be honest, there was no real other options of what to do. Yeah. So you either went to sixth form or you went to college and did an NVQ, say.
Yes,
But even then, there was not much to offer. So I was kind of like, well, I don't really want to go to sixth form either, but I'll do it because there just seems no other option. So
what did you do? What were your subjects?
Art, PE and media studies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but with no view of how you would combine those?
No. And again, I never wanted to go to university because there was nothing I specifically wanted to do at university that I would have really wanted to go into. Okay. So, again, looking back now, all the school wanted you to do was go to sixth form, do your A-levels, because your A-levels then got you into university.
Absolutely.
But if I had no desire to go, I was like, well, it doesn't matter about my A-levels. And now looking back, again, this might be a bit controversial, but like A-levels mean absolutely nothing. Yeah. Like they don't. Like no one now in a job interviews go, oh, you've got an A-level in art. It doesn't matter. Like I think as long as you've got your GCSEs... In fairness,
a lot of university degrees don't either, do they?
So as long as you've got your GCSE in English, maths and science, they're the 3 most important ones.
Yeah, they still are,
Still are. So as long as you can write, read, that kind of thing, do some general adding up.
Well, and I think as long as you understand the world, you can kind of talk confidently about the world and, society. Yeah,
totally. But from that point of view, I never wanted to go to university because at that stage I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I still struggle to believe that anyone at that age really knows what they want to do, unless perhaps their parents are something
Yeah.
Maybe they're a lawyer or a doctor or a teacher, and they're like, I really want to do that.
Yeah. The people that I've interviewed so far, where they have been lawyers and doctors, they like you said, or vets, they've kind of always known, and literally it's been a really linear thing. Yeah. But like you say, anyone else, it's very squiggly.
And I think you're very lucky if at 16, say 16 to 18, you really do know what you want to do.
Yeah.
I think go for it. And if that requires you to go to university to do it because you need that, then do it. But otherwise, you see so many, and again, growing up, friends have been to university, done a course that they don't particularly want to do, and they've never actually used that.
Yeah.
Moving forward. So, and now with money, finances, things like that, it's a very big decision for you to actually decide whether you should go down that route.
Absolutely, yeah. I say to my kids, my daughter's only just starting, she's 15, so she's just starting her GCSEs. But I said to both mine, unless you really know what you want to do at uni and can see don't go to it's just not worth the money. It's absolutely not worth the money. But okay, so didn't want to go to uni. So then what? Then what did you do after college then?
I went travelling.
Okay.
Which, again, is a passion of mine. I love to travel.
Yeah.
And again, I have done ever since I was 18.
Yeah.
I went to Australia.
Yeah.
Did however many months there.
Yeah.
Did the whole buy a car.
Yeah. Travel.
Bus round Australia, camping, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so pretty much on and off till I was about 24-ish.
Okay.
I just travelled. So I'd come back, work, earn some money, and then off I went.
Brilliant.
Did a round the world trip.
But nothing to do with, you might have been doing sport. I guess keeping fitness was still a part of it, but...
Yeah, so I was still playing football locally.
Yeah.
And, I just worked generally in hospitality because you could pick it up and drop it very easily.
Easy, yeah.
And I actually, again, I did enjoy it.
Well, also, you're a really good people person. So that's the second.
I'd challenge anyone to actually do hospitality, to learn the skills of actually talking to people.
I know.
Because, we touched on this earlier, but people now struggle to actually converse in...
Young kids. Oh, my gosh, hugely so. Everything's on a screen.
Yeah. But I did my work experience at a place called Herrywood Sports. Do you remember that in Peterborough?
Oh, yes.
Next to the Bull Hotel.
Yes.
So way back when, I think I was 15, 16.
Yes.
And so pretty much from then, I'd been in a customer base or facing...
Yeah, my early jobs were retail. Yeah.
So I think doing stuff like that, gets you be able to converse and interact with people.
Builds your confidence, doesn't it?
And different people. So don't just talk to your friends that are the same age as you. Be able to talk to someone that's 60 years old, 30 years old, even younger, 40, however old they are, you should be able to kind of talk to them.
And I guess if you're travelling as well, you're talking to...
Yeah, you've got no choice.
Everybody, all ages, all cultures. Yeah. And then what happened?
Then I got into air conditioning and refrigeration.
So you decided to come home?
Yeah, so I came home.
Yeah.
And finally thought I'd probably better settle down and get a job.
Yeah.
And my football manager at the time had a business in aircon and refrigeration. He said, why don't you come work for me, do like a bit of an apprenticeship, but I'll pay you and on-the-job training and things like that. And I thought,
brilliant.
Well, it's good to get a skill.
Yeah.
Good to get a trade. A lot of my friends are electricians, carpenters, plumbers.
Oh God, they're raking it in now.
You look through COVID. They could charge whatever they wanted.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which again, I look back at and think, perhaps if someone when I was 16, going into sixth form, if they'd said, do you want to do an apprenticeship?
Yes.
By the age of 19, you could be earning £500-600 a week. I'd be like, oh, that's quite tempting.
Yeah.
And to have a life skill of being able to do something, because then when it comes to buying a house and doing your own home, or your friends go, you couldn't just fit a toilet for us.
And you know people, don't you? Tradespeople know the tradespeople.
So, went into aircon refrigeration and did that for about 4.5 years.
Okay.
And then got to the point I was like, I remember the day exactly. I was on a site in Biggleswade. It was like November. It was freezing cold, snowing, awful, cold, trying to do things with your hands and, like do up nuts and bolts and things like that.
Yeah.
I went, I can't do this anymore. This isn't
just
me.
It's not.
And I was like, I can't see myself doing this for a year longer, let alone the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so I had kind of a bit of a light bulb moment and went off and just spoke to a few people. I said, like, what am I gonna do? And then my best friend lives in Australia, and he was like, why don't you come out here? And I was like, yeah, but you've got to get a visa. I've had my holiday working visa. And he's like, well, why don't you go to, do a college degree or like something? So I said, oh, look into like a student visa. So kind of looked into it. And then a few of my other friends were over there, were doing a similar thing. There was a big kind of like group of people from Peterborough and Stamford and stuff that all kind of like migrated over to like Sydney.
So hang on, but when is this and what are we talking?
So that was about 27.
But so what year is this though? Just to give everyone
2010, 2011.
I was going to say 2010.
I was quite fascinated with like the human body and again with the fitness side of it and stuff. And so found this course, sports therapy, sports massage, remedial massage, with the progression to go into like musculoskeletal therapy. And then into like other areas of physiotherapy, I suppose.
Wow.
And found it. I was like, all right, let's do it. So did all the paperwork, signed up, and then...
And they accepted and that was it?
Yep.
You've got a student visa to
Student visa over to Australia. Decided to go to Melbourne.
Oh, cool choice.
Because I thought if I go to Sydney, I'm just going to fall into my mates' groups. And I'll probably end up sacking off college.
Yeah.
To just
quite wise then.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I knew a few people in Melbourne, and so I just thought, you know what? I'd been to Melbourne. I thought I loved it there.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And so that's why I decided. I thought I'm going to go to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Not around my mate. They're only an hour away. I can see them whenever. But
yeah.
And so just booked my flights, everything, to go over there for when the semester started and.
So that's kind of January then, is it? So you flew out after Christmas? Because they're
March, I think.
Their school. Well,
I think it started around March time. So, and so got everything kind of packed up, quit my job, and got everything together. And
in your head, was that it? Were you never coming back?
I'd hoped I'd never. I could go over there, get qualified, get a visa, and stay there forever. Yeah. That was the plan.
Yeah.
And obviously it didn't happen, but for whatever reasons. And but that was in my head. That was because I've been there a few times and all that sort of stuff. So and probably one of the best year and a bit of my life of
so
going
this was
out there.
During the course.
Yeah.
And how did you fund that then? Did you have to have? Did they pay for it, or did you have to?
No, you had to pay for. So it was quite expensive.
Yeah.
So again, like what we mentioned about that university is very expensive, but where you're talking 30-40 grand for university here, I think I paid it worked out probably about 10 grand in total.
Yeah.
With visas, with tuition.
Yeah.
And then whatever else I needed for the course, books, all this sort of stuff. So it wasn't cheap, but also, I had money here and I was able to work when I was there. So the visa allowed you to work. And again, luckily found a job, landed on my feet, did the course. And again, the course, in my eyes, the course I chose was more in depth than what you would get here.
Yeah.
So again,
they take it all a lot more seriously.
Yeah, they do. So I found that out that day-to-day life in Australia, they have so much more work done as far as physio, osteo, chiropractors, sports massage, all of this sort of stuff, reflexology.
That's just because they're more active, though.
I think it's just into their day-to-day and into their lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I soon realised that because before I went back in so I went in 2011.
Yeah.
And people here didn't get a lot of sports massage done.
But if I'm
I've
honest,
been to the chiropractor a few times and really felt, what have you actually done? You've not told me anything. You've just clipped me a couple of times. When I first came back, and I said, I've gone out there and started doing sports massage, going to people's houses, doing it for football clubs, things like that. As soon as you start to say the word massage, everyone goes, oh, happy ending kind of stuff. And you're like, no. And that's
There is
stigma. That's the
nothing-
stigma. No, there's
Having
nothing
been
sexual.
treated by you, it's really fucking painful. Pleasurable about.
Yeah.
What is it? Use treatment.
It's deep tissue work and mobilisations and manipulations and things like that. So yeah, it's not a nice relaxing spa kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stigma of people was that. So in the 14 years I've been doing it, you can see it slowly changing.
Yeah.
And now people are starting to take full advantage of it, and wellness and recovery and everything. It's just boomed. Like it's a $1 billion industry now, and with the ice baths, saunas, recovery protocol, all that sort of thing, it's completely changed since I started doing it back in 2011. Even now, looking back at what Australia had, it's far more advanced now than what it was back then.
So how long were you out there for then while you were
just
training?
over a year. So it was basically a 3-year course condensed into a year.
Wow.
So it was full time.
Yeah.
So again, I like the thought of that. So again, here, you obviously hear of people going to university for 3 years and they turn around and go, I've got like 4 hours of lectures a week. And you're like, what?
I know.
That's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So I was doing 3 full days a week.
Yeah.
At college, at this college that I went to. So yeah, 3 days of full-on learning, and it was split into like 3 sections into a day. So you'd have a 3-hour maybe anatomy physiology lesson in the morning, have a break, another 3-hour lesson, maybe practical learning about, say, the shoulder today, and then after that another 3-hour kind of lesson in something else. It could be business studies or actual therapy. So it's called sports therapy. I was actually taught by a therapist, so we actually had to have sessions with a therapist to understand the kind of the psyche behind it and what can happen and what you should say to people, and what if someone says this to you, duty of care.
You almost were taught.
Yeah.
Not that I want to say the customer service element, but I guess it is that, isn't it? It's that kind of...
Yeah, and how to be, like, if someone turned around and said, oh, you know, a bit extreme, but like, I've been thinking about, you know, maybe killing myself or something like that. Because you will come across things like that, and you do come across it. And to learn how to then be with someone who says things like that, or you might get the impression that one of your clients potentially has fallen in love with you, or is quite attached to you, like an attachment syndrome. So you have to be able to, like, how do I navigate this without being this or doing that?
Well, and how do you spot it early on to nip it in the bud, I guess?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So came back. And thought, right, I'm gonna break the UK.
That's it. Yeah.
Is that literally what you kind of thought? I've got to.
I thought, again, with my football background, I would get all my football mates, everyone, all the teams I knew.
By this stage, older.
Yeah.
So they're a bit more fucked, a bit physically.
But then when I came back, so I was still then, what was I? Yeah, about 28, 29.
Yeah.
So I was still playing, and a lot of my friends were. And then you've got, obviously in the team, you've got 18-year-olds all coming through. So I thought, I'm going to clean up here. Yeah. I'm going to get all my football, like all that. I know some rugby boys. Yeah. I'll be sorted. Couldn't be more wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
They just don't look after themselves?
No, didn't look after them. They would rather spend 40, 50 quid on beers and going out and doing all that. And then I started to take on, which is now probably a niche of mine, is more the bodybuilding side of things. Yeah.
So how did that... Is that just from kind of being at the gyms? And...
Yeah. So was at the gym, obviously seeing people bodybuilding and doing all this kind of thing.
Because the strain... I mean, God, I almost have a million questions about that alone, but the strain that must put on the body must be huge.
Yeah, definitely. And then there was one bodybuilder, he was from Peterborough, and he'd just turned pro.
Oh, okay.
And I'd known of him years before, being in the gyms.
Right.
And he wasn't as big as what he was then. He was building himself up. And someone said, well, I should just message him and, like, see if he fancies that. So I was like, you know what? I'll reach out. So I messaged him and just say, hey, you know, I'm doing this. I think I could, you know, help you with a few things. Do you fancy having a session?
Brilliant.
Again, it was all free. So I was offering my services just so I could kind of get in.
Brilliant.
And he said, yeah, let's do this. So he came over. At the time, I had renting a room at the gym. So they had just like a tiny little box room and literally could fit a massage bed in. And that was about it. So came over, did a bit of work, talked through a few things, and just said, right, I can help you with this, look at this is like showing him examples, and he was like, let's do this, let's work together. Wow. And like I say, he just turned pro. So his name's Ricardo Correa. And he just turned pro, but he'd done one show and finished dead last. Mm-hmm. And again, it was a bit ballsy, and we always talk about it. We're still good friends now. And I said, your posing's shit. Now, to tell a professional bodybuilder that their posing's not the best.
But how did you know? What you just as you just thought it was shit?
Yeah, so I was just looking at his body as a
muscle and that kind of thing.
And going, well, he can't open that shoulder and he can't, he's tight there, and this is this, and if you actually open that up, you'll look bigger and it will improve your muscle, and
of course,
all this. So basically, we still to this day, like, we went to Nando's, sat down as you do,
ate some protein,
and I sat down. I said, look, this is what I think I can do for you, and he said, right, I'm in. Yeah, let's do it. So we ended up working together, and we ended up doing like 3 sessions a week together, which is quite a lot, but again, it's his job.
But he had a lot to sort out, I'm guessing.
So, and the difference in him over a period of time was just insane. And he went on that year, to win 3 pro shows. Wow. And finish 9th in the world.
Wow.
At the Olympia. So that's like, to date, is one of the biggest kind of achievements.
You're quite early on in your career there as well, though, aren't you?
And from that, he obviously had a platform, being a pro, and then obviously social media at this point was like on the up and big, and then from that I got more athletes and pro bodybuilders, and so I started kind of like edging into that world. And alongside like social media, when these athletes start posting about you, I've had people travel up from Oxford, where else, down from like the South Coast, and they like travel 2 hours to have a session because they're like, oh, I saw you on YouTube, saw this, I haven't been able to do this for a year, but like, and then you fix them and sort them out, and they're like, oh, thank you so much, like, I've been suffering with this for so long, and you're like, why? And it's, and so so from that point of view, from that platform of being with athletes and putting it on social media, you do get other bits from it, but a lot of my work is from the gym. Footfall from the gym, and word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising. I've never advertised.
No.
I've never had to put posters up in places.
Anywhere,
It's just word of mouth, and you build it up, and you build your client base, which takes a lot of time. A lot of people think it's very quick.
Yeah.
But like I say, I came back in 2012 from Australia.
Yeah.
And 2016 was when this gym opened, and my first clinic opened. So that's 4 years of trying to build up, and along the way you kind of discover what you do and don't like, and then again you can go off onto your tangent and work into that area, like I have with bodybuilding. So
I guess when someone comes to see you, then you ask a lot of questions, not just
so it's getting to know why you've got.
Often it isn't the thing either, is it? It isn't the thing.
So if you've got pain somewhere, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the issue. So again, it's trying to figure out, what's happening. What do you do for work? What do you do in your home life?
Yeah.
Do you do this? Do you do that? Yeah. Have you done this? Have you ever injured yourself? So all these questions, and for me, we can sit here and talk and discuss it and analyse everything. But again, one of my tutors taught me, it was like, you can ask as many questions as you want and do it, but actually get them on the table, work with them,
and just touch them, for want of a better phrase.
Mobilise them, see what the problem is, feel the muscles, all that kind of thing. You can still ask the questions while they're on the table, but maximise your time with them. Like, I would never want to sit down here and talk to you for 30 minutes before actually treating. Which, again, I've had bad experiences with other practitioners where you go in and they sit there with a questionnaire and you sit there for 20, 30 minutes. And then they go, okay, let's treat, do about 10 minutes work. And they go, right, I think you should come back next week. And you're like, what? We haven't done anything. So again, having bad experiences with practitioners, I don't want that to be a reflection of what I do. So I normally do like hour sessions, either do hour and a half, 2 hour, whatever it might be.
Bloody hell.
So in that hour,
and I guess if you're mobilising people, also they're probably less aware of what they're saying. You probably get more truth out of people, don't you? Because they're not concentrating, are they? They're just sort of.
But again, that's why it's sports therapy.
Yeah.
So people tell you all sorts.
Really?
Oh yeah, all sorts.
I guess one of the questions I always ask people is, what's next? And what is, obviously you've got your clinic, you've got your clients, you don't have to advertise, but what's yet to do for Jonny then? What would you?
I think still going to focus with Ryan, because I love being able to travel the world with clients.
Yeah, I was going to say travel.
So I've always said, if you can travel with your work, you're very blessed, and like you should just enjoy every minute of it. I know sometimes it can be a bit tedious, like, you know, flights and things like that, but you get to travel the world doing what you know. I've been to Dubai, I've been to Las Vegas, Florida, places like that, just with being able to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to do that until he loses the title.
Well, and then you'll be like, bugger off.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, I'm done with you now, yeah.
Do you think doors have just opened for you, or you've gone after it more?
I don't think like they just open, but you do have to put yourself in the right position. So like when I came, I had to put myself out there to contact someone, to offer my services for free, in the beginning, to get them what I wanted from that. Then that opened a door. Then the gym opened another door.
Because we're very much in this era, and I do wrong. I sign up to it to an extent, but it's kind of like, you know, what's meant to be will be, and all this kind of stuff. And I kind of think the worrying thing with that is it's not making people get off their arse. And go and chase stuff down.
You still have to put yourself out. And you know, if you want to win the lottery, you have to buy a ticket. So put yourself in positions where you may meet these people. So like if you do want to work with bodybuilders and stuff, go to different gyms, network. Go to seminars where you can meet people.
Well, like you've done, offer your services for free.
Go to shows and actually meet people and get your face around so people can see you. If you want to go down another route, again, like if you want to go into the football kind of side, get an internship, like again where you're not being paid, but you turn up and maybe work with the academy first, and then move into the first team, and then they might pay you, and then
then it's not overnight, is it?
No, it's not. It's you just have to put in the yard, and I think sometimes people just want that quick, you know, rise to success, and it's like, no, you have to put in the hard yards. Otherwise, you know, what kind of journey is it?
But also, I don't think people value it. I don't think as humans, we don't. If anything, like they'll think anything worth having is hard, isn't it? Otherwise, you don't. If it comes really easy, you don't value it, do you?
No, you don't. No,
so
totally. So
wow. So anything, it might be what's ahead for you there.
Ideally, I would love to open my own clinic. I know I've got my own clinic in the gym, but
with other people.
Yes, potentially
like sort of wellnessy.
Yeah, so where you could offer a lot more. All under one roof. But again, where or when or may happen, and I've got ideas.
Do you know the people that you'd want to do it with?
Yeah, I've got ideas stored, but it's again, the timing will be right when it is right. You know, put yourself in the right place at the right time.
With the right people.
But again, you know, you still have to push towards it. You still have to knock on the doors and things like that, but ultimately you will be in the right place when you need to be.
That's great advice. Right, okay, so is there anything about what you do that you want, that we haven't discussed, that you think is important to share? Well, the main thing is, don't go down this route if you don't like touching people. This is not for you. Or if you don't like people.
If you don't like people, just don't. Yeah, don't.
It's not the role for you.
No.
And I'll probably, like, I don't like farting. like I've got a real problem with farting and or just burping, like people's gas.
Okay.
Like, is it phobia? So I couldn't do this because you physically push farts and probably gas out.
Yeah, some people again get very relaxed and just
let it go.
Let it go.
I couldn't do that.
Again, it's part of the job. Like again, some sides of it that you might not see. I've had people, men, turn over and be aroused,
but not necessarily almost willingly.
No, and you're like, okay, right.
Do they say anything?
No. Again, I was taught just get a heavy towel and just drop it, and that'll be for whatever reasons they're like that. But you will come across all sorts of different people. Like I say, there's so many different ways you can go in the industry.
Yeah.
And it's just you will find your path down one. So don't be so fixated on one spot. Again, if you want to be the England physio and that's your end goal, fine, go for it and work towards that. That's perfectly. But along the way, you will go.
I was going to say, 'cause ultimately that is one role, isn't it?
Yeah. And there'll
be a lot of people.
But you might, again, that's one role. And how many physios come out of university every year?
Wanting that job.
Thousands.
Yeah.
And they all want to get to that one point.
Yeah.
So don't be so hard on yourself when you don't actually, but maybe scale your levels of where you want to go. You can always have that, I want to be that person. That's fine. But it might take that time to get there.
Yeah. And work hard. That's the thing.
Work hard. Yeah. There's no substitute for hard work.
No.
Like, you will have to put in the yards, but over time it will benefit you, and cream rises to the top, as they say. And
I don't say too much of this because I've got to ask my 3 final questions.
Go on, then.
So my 3 final questions. The first question is there any advice that you would give to your younger self? Could be any version of your younger self. Any advice that you'd give to little Jonny?
I wish, maybe at 16, someone would have told me that there are other options.
Yeah.
Other than the one that seemed to be the only way. Do your A-levels, go to university.
Go into business, go into some kind of,
whether that's get a job at 16 and work your way up.
Yeah.
Because, again, people can do that.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're 22, you could have a fairly good job.
Yeah.
And have 5 years experience in the industry.
And you'll be earning more than someone who's left uni.
Yeah.
Without the debt.
Yeah, without the debt. So, I wish someone, and again, like I wouldn't blame my mum and dad because they were from a time in society where it was you get a job, paid your pension, retire, that's it.
Yeah.
Things have changed now. So I don't blame them for not going, do you want to go to university? Do you want to do your A-levels?
Yeah.
But without giving me the option of, well, what else do I do?
Yeah.
But even then, back then, there was there much?
Yeah.
But now you've got so much more. So maybe if someone had given me some advice of you can actually do this.
Okay. Right, so question 2 is, what advice do you think your older self would give you now? So we're going to go with 65-year-old Jonny. What do you think he would say to you now?
Well done for investing in crypto. You've given me a nice life after this.
Yeah. Literally that would be the,
Probably.
Yeah.
Again, because if maybe 4 years ago or 6 years ago, if you knew that, it's but again, with finances, what you're taught at school, I don't think we're taught the right thing. There's people being taught what we were taught at school.
Anything about finances, we were just taught maths.
But it's teach people about mortgages. No, people don't have a clue about investment. You always see things if you'd invest £50 a week from the age of 18, by 36, by 36, you'd have been a millionaire. Also, and you're like, well, why didn't anyone tell me that?
I know.
Even £1 a week, you'd have thousands of pounds.
I know.
And it's stuff like that they should be teaching you. Teach me how to do my taxes, what a mortgage is, how to set up a business.
Yeah. And then the final question is always, which I feel like you're going to have a good one, so you can't let me down now. It's your life mantra, the thing that you just live and die by. I'm going to say if Jonny had a t-shirt, but you probably already have t-shirts, but if you had a specific mantra t-shirt, what would it say?
Well, I do like that, if someone's rude to the waitress, that tells you everything you need to know about that person.
Yeah. So just politeness and decency.
Yeah. I just think you can see a lot in people with how they act towards a certain person.
Yeah. Kindness and decency, folks. Right, on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you for having me.
If you would like to hear more about this chat, see some pics and read about how to get started in this industry and/or this role, then please go to our website www.twerk.org. The link is in this podcast page and across our socials. Sincere thanks.